welcome to episode 2. Last we left off, our 4 Farlight citizens, denizens, tourists even, were called upon by the Order of the Night Watch, specifically Arc Sentinel Sister Plight, to travel from Farlight into the Reclaimed Wastes to hunt down pieces of a map, searching for the remnants of a Project Archimicarus, after Alethos mysteriously was able to activate and project the map shard within, which shows you the first location of the outpost with the next piece. You guys began to make your way off into the wonderful little world as you sort of got to know each other. Spark was able to build you guys a wagon that would carry all of your stuff. I guess maybe not a wagon. It doesn't have wheels. It's got little spider legs just sort of clambering along with it. Which we will get to the mixed success from last time, I think, this episode. But we'll see. You guys crested over a hill through the general wooded area of the Farlight Valley, which is where the city of Farlight resides, right before you guys were to hit the Reclaimed Wastes. As you sort of crested over, you heard a shout from someone over the hill, where you crested over as stealthily as you generally could, to find a marauder being harried by what appears to be a reclaimed of some kind, a large corpse beast with plants growing from every which orifice. This one seems particularly leans towards a more vine-like structure, as it's got one big dragging arm harrying this man who's laying on the ground. But for now, we're not horribly concerned about that. We're going to cut away, move west to the reclaimed jungle out by the life tree, the big massive tree in the center of the Reclaimed Wastes. Down by its roots, we see an individual clad in heavy leather, despite the obviously humid air of the Reclaimed Wastes. The weather here is not so forgiving. They have a backpack pumping cooling fluid over their body as to maintain their identity hidden and keep their gear up and running in the heat. They approach a tree where there are some plant viscera left behind. As they sort of reach up and pull it off, a little scan goes off in their helmet, and a small beep can be heard before they mumble, "Got you." And then we will cut back to this lovely little area where the 4 of you find yourselves, watching on as this man is being harried by a reclaimed. I just wonder if I want to make you guys roll something for this. Give me just a second here. If my book will load. Oh, I suppose that would be too kind.
While you look in the book, I need everyone to appreciate this plant. Look how big and happy she is. Even in the blur, like, this is thriving, and I just keep staring in the corner of my camera.
Absolutely delightful. Yeah, okay. Any of the 4 of you who would like to, you can attempt to gain information or gain insight. Gather information might be more generally useful, as it just allows you to ask me a question about the topic. In this case being, what's up?
Yeah, I would love to gather information here.
Please, absolutely. And remind us again, does Maisie have any background skills or anything that would apply to this
I've seen
role?
worse might apply here, but other than that, probably not.
No, absolutely. You can use I've seen worse to gain an accuracy on this.
Okay, cool. And do I add any ability scores to this?
That's an excellent question.
I can actually check that. Gather information. Doesn't look like it. That is a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can ask me one question about the topic, and I will give you an answer that you think is true.
Okay. Yeah, I think the main question on Izzy's mind is like, why is this reclaimed all the way out here and not like further in? Because it's way further out than generally they are, right?
Oh yeah, you guys are maybe still like a day or two's travel from the edge of the reclaimed wastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you sort of look down on this scene, and I think I'm going to pick the other option. I'm going to give you information that I think you probably wish wouldn't be true, which is that you can't parse exactly why there's reclaimed all the way out here, but it doesn't seem to be that big reclaimed they're worried about. You can see various extra marauders sort of setting up camp around what appears to be a separate, entirely different reclaimed. Kian, if you would like to describe what Maisie sees as you sort of move through the woods here.
Yeah. So Akonis is about 7.5 feet tall. Quite the large lad. And they wear drapey green and black clothes to kind of blend in with the environment around them. The only color that you would see is that the tips of their hairs seem to be falling away into the sort of like purple veiny flowers. And they are they're trying to keep most of themselves covered, but as their hands move about, you would be able to see on their left hand that there are roots that have started to encase the entire left hand.
Absolutely delightful. Akonis, I will say that as of current, you are none the wiser to these beings sort of camping out and waiting for you to cross their path. You do see the one gentleman in the road who seems to be harried by a reclaimed. But as for the other 5 that Maisie is now currently aware of, you are none the wiser at the moment.
Okay. How close am I to this one poor fellow?
That I'd give you about 35 feet there.
I am going to keep my distance for now. I'm going to watch from the shadows because Akonis knows that they are not particularly skilled in combat, but they can come in and heal after the fact. So right now they're just sending thoughts and prayers to this poor guy in the road and hoping that is going to be enough.
That is absolutely valid. Maisie, you see that this reclaimed has sort of stopped and is watching with great interest, which you most of all, I think, would note. That is not normal reclaimed behavior. They sort of behave like zombies, but this one has sort of stopped and is actively observing a situation. What do the other 3 of you do as you sort of see this situation unfolding?
I mean, I've kind of dipped into the shadows with my little doggy shade that I made or called to. So I'm probably looking to Maisie for when to do things. Spark's fully like, I know the other 2 aren't in charge in this situation. So I'm going to look to the big person with a sword.
Maisie would definitely look, because I think you said last time Spark is actually just like very keen on perceiving everything going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
Maisie would definitely like look over there, look back at you, and kind of like motion her head over to the situation.
And you're motioning over specifically to
Yeah, to Akonis,
Yeah.
the person who
Yeah.
we will eventually know as Akonis.
And Spark, you would I think almost immediately gain understanding that this is these are a roaming band of marauders.
Could I start to sneak towards where Akonis is with my dog?
Yeah, if you want to do a move unseen roll for me, absolutely.
Yeah, I would gladly. We're still using just like narrative stuff for this, right? Or like
Yes. Depending on your actions, we will move into combat as needed. For those of you at home, we have a Roll20 set up in the background that they're going to be using for visualization because this combat system deals with deployment zones and a bunch of fun other stuff that needs a map.
That's a 17 on the die. I don't know if I add anything to that.
It doesn't specifically say. I personally, I think, because I don't think it's horribly clear in the book. If you guys make a roll and you feel like you have an attribute with a number in it that would add to that, for example, if you had mind 2, you could add to a roll. If that is what you want to do. So, for example, I would say that agility would probably also apply here.
Cool. I also have my little scamp background. I don't know if that then is just a 1.
Well, the background skills are going to give you accuracies, which I think are different.
Oh, that's right. So then would I roll an extra d6?
You'll roll a d6 and you'll add it to the roll.
That's how that works. Oh, cool. Awesome. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Absolutely. That's a critical. So you can definitely sneak over there. Absolutely. Not only that, but if combat triggers, I will allow you to use either of the deployment zones that I have drawn up on the map there, the little green squares. There's one for Akonis down in the bottom left, and then one for the 4 of you that the other 3 of you will have to sort of utilize.
So I don't know because my headset cut out.
You can get down to Akonis, and since you rolled over 20, if combat breaks out, I will allow you to deploy at either deployment zone. Your character can start in either green square.
Hell yeah. Do I see where Akonis is on this?
Should be the bottom left of that map.
Cool.
Or bottom right, sorry.
I'll go be truthful with what I was doing because I know it's not going to be helpful if combat does break out probably for us. But my goal was to start putting a little snare trap to trap this strange individual watching a murder happen.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
I've been in this game for like 5 minutes, Taylor.
I don't know you. You're in the woods and this guy's dying.
We're already coming for you. Get ready.
Spark's just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy. What you want from me?
Absolutely. Is this a job ability that you have? The building traps.
It's one of my traits.
Oh, one of your traits. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
I think I have a item or a talent. I have something else that is also traps.
Right.
I did lots of them.
Cool.
Oh, I'm not going to use the support item one because that's an explosive trap. I'm not trying to hurt. I'm a stick.
You're just trying to snare.
Unless we'll see how the interaction goes.
Yeah, so you're able to sneak over there, and if you need to, you can deploy that trap. I think it's a combat ability, but we could use it narratively.
Get a little silly.
Who's gonna stop us?
Yeah. So the snare trap is when triggered creates a burst 1 area. All characters in the area must pass an agility save or be immobilized. Is the
Okay.
is the official one.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get over there safely. Are you just going to set it off right away?
No, I'm probably gonna wait until shit hits the fan, or they move and trigger it.
Okay, absolutely. Gigi and Alithos, is there anything you guys would like to be doing?
If I'm honest, to where we were last time, I believe I was a dog when last we left.
Absolutely.
I believe, if I recall what
But you're
happened,
flying,
chat, correct me if
weren't
I'm wrong. Well, no, because I saw your dog, and I was like, that looks cool. I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did dog things because I have a scout form. So I was, dogging around, looking at everybody, getting eyes on folks, and being strange and unusual, So probably honestly following you down towards this strange reclaimed.
Sure. If you want to give me a move unseen roll, that would be coolio.
Can certainly try.
That is the idea.
Excellent. Let's see.
All this is happening when they're plotting my demise. Can I also describe my companion, JT, that we talked about?
Certainly.
I forgot to mention it, so y'all need to know who you're about to kill. Not super close, but close enough, is my little companion. I gotta find their description. You'd see kind of toddling around this green mossy capybara with a little flower on the top of his head, and his name is Onion. So, explode me as you will, but Onion is coming with me, and I don't think you want that on your conscience.
I'm not exploding
Can't hurt
yet.
Onion.
I'm not exploding.
Okay, what did you roll to move unseen?
That's a 3.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
seen as hell.
1 second. Forgot I almost need to have 2 of these things open so I can narrative 27.
I like to have about 3 tabs of the book open for searching various things.
Yeah. It's a lot, and we're still learning.
Well, I want to see what my desktop looks like right now. If I'm
Cool.
honest.
Alithos, you were going to get caught. That is a given here. You do, however, decide if you get caught on the way in or on the way out.
I feel like it would make sense for them to get caught on the way in, because I think what happens is they are following Spark and Spark's dog, and then see that what they are going after is a reclaimed, and just sort of falter. Clearly,
Okay.
slightly uncomfortable at this turn of events.
I will give Gigi a moment to do any extra stuff that you wanted to do before we kick off combat, because that's what this is going to do.
I mean, my thing was going to be, I ran over here kind of, magical staff blazing, literally and figuratively, because I heard somebody scream. So there was about to be just a fireball somewhere. So might as well start combat.
Okay, sure.
I'll
Absolutely.
do that in an actual turn.
There's gonna be a fireball somewhere.
Yeah. So Spark specifically is going to have the choice between the 2 squares. Alithos is not going to get a choice where they deploy at all.
Great.
For your failed move unseen roll. And then Maisie and Gigi, you can both deploy in the big green square, and Akonis, you can pick anywhere in that little green square down there that you want to be. So you could be further away if you wanted to be, or what have you. You should be able to move your tokens.
I am going
just
to deploy my ley lines. Because that's just a start of combat thing.
Okay.
Noise.
Blast 1, is that like a center square? And then
So,
one all the
Blast
way
is
around
out from you.
Okay.
It will be basically...
It's like 9 squares. Right?
Yeah, this area here. No, it doesn't do the center square. It just does that many squares out from it, I believe. There should be a goofy little chart. For burst.
Quick correction. Blast is
Blast
radius
is
of X spaces. You're thinking of burst.
Oh, right. No, you're so right. Oops. Yeah, no, that's you can pick your 9 squares wherever.
Nice.
So I get
JT
3.
just got a little
Wait, what?
robotic. I don't know if it switched your mic.
1 second.
Like almost sounds like an onboard, like a computer microphone or something.
Yeah, it's like you got hit with a tiny bit of vocoder.
Yeah.
JT is fixing that. I think Maisie would definitely just kind of like step in front of Gigi, seeing them like start to do magic stuff, just put herself in the way of anything and them.
How do I sound now? Am I good?
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful. My mic likes to misbehave sometimes. Okay. Are these your blue squares, Eve?
Yeah, those are my ley lines.
Cool. You just deploy those wherever. Perfect.
Yep. It just says, it actually does say anywhere on the map.
I love that for you. I really do.
The only thing they can't do is contain enemy spaces.
Right. Okay. So, moving into combat, you guys are clearly going to see 6 people mobilize. Oops.
I think I accidentally included an enemy space, so I will move that.
Well, actually, you could still deploy there because as Alithos is caught, you hear someone from the bushes go, "We got one!" And this guy, being harried by this rat, stands up, and the rat sort of dissipates into light as a small glowing light on his hand sort of recedes, and he closes his fist, cracks his knuckles, and is going to turn towards the 2 of you up here. This gentleman is going to turn towards Alithos. You're all going to turn
Roll
towards...
initiative in this game?
You don't. So
No, they're like phases of combat.
the way that this is going to work, you guys are going to decide which actions you're trying to do. Each action has a specified phase that it can go in. And if you're not sure, then just know that any ranged attacks are going to be in phase 3, where you do a volley or a mark or a search. Any melee attacks are going to be in phase 5, where you can do a fight, a grapple, or a shove. And the way that this is going to work, once you've decided which actions you want to do and you tell me which phase you're going in, it's going to go you, then me, then you, then me, so on and so forth. And you guys can go in whichever order you decide, as long as we follow the phase order. PCs will always start combat. I believe, or I'm interpreting that to mean that we will start in whichever phase of combat you guys are going in. So if you have any openers that are bolsters or channels, then we will start in phase 2 and we will advance from there. So does anybody have any phase 1 actions they would like to take? Okay. Does anyone have any phase 2 actions they would like to take?
I'm going to channel.
Absolutely beautiful.
I'm going to start using Arcane Explosion.
Sure.
The little like solar flare ball of fire that's just kind of floating above the little sword just kind of shrinks and gets really small. And the like grass starts moving around Gigi as he just kind of like stands there with like the one eye you can see is just like got like a really curved eyebrow and looks pretty feral at the moment, especially after that illusion went away.
Absolutely. What does that ability do?
Well, at release, it'll make a big explosion.
Oh, okay. So channel is like you're starting to power
Yeah.
up the spell and then you can
Yeah.
release. Okay.
Yeah, I think everything that's channel actually takes effect upon release. It's like you gotta like make it that far.
Sure thing. All right. That guy in front of you that was casting the illusion. Yep, is going to also start channeling. As you see, his glove sort of begins to light up, and you see little sparks coming out of it as an image begins printing from the glove itself. That's going to bring us back to you guys. Does anybody have any phase 3 actions they would like to take? Just Alethos? All right.
So.
Absolutely.
Okay. So whoever's like got eyes on me. Oh.
Tay, we can't hear you if you're talking.
I just realized.
Sorry.
I just had a clarification question of I have a search action that's listed as a minor action. Where is the I can't find the lineup of how many actions to minor actions
you get a standard action, a minor action per turn. And you can those minor actions I think can be done on your turn, whichever phase you're doing them in.
Can I do it the same turn as another action that would also be in that same phase? Like a minor, because basically I have a search and a volley. But the search is a minor
I understood
action.
that then is that you would do the whole action in the volley phase. Like both your main action and your extra action, minor action.
You can do those. Yeah, you have a main action. The minor action will follow that. You can do those in any order that you want. It's just the main action I think is going to pin you down to a specific phase.
Gotcha. Perfect. I mean, they're both this one, thankfully, but I can do it after.
Okay, so that's, if I recall correctly, that's 2 phase 3 Duvinos. Which of you wants to go first?
Okay, you go. You're in the shit. I am unseen.
That is true. I am well in the shit. I think I would like to, because I'm still a dog for the time being. But I think I can do this. I would like to use my copycat talent, and whichever fool is like actively like looking hostile at me, I would like to search, which I can just do as a minor action apparently.
They are a wide number of them are. I will say this one's going to be your line of sight here, and then this guy over here as well, who's sort of emerged from behind the stump.
Okay. Yeah, this guy looks closer to me, so he looks, more actively threatening, probably. So I would like to search that lad, which I believe just gives me a bunch of details about him.
On a success. Yeah. Yep, you learn the target's statistics, abilities, and equipment.
Cool.
So that guy right there in specific is a unit called a Fury.
Great. That sounds fun.
Let me see. Statistics, abilities, and equipment. They have a serrated axe on them. They have an ability that makes them stronger the more damage they take. So
Great.
for every damage that they take, they gain a +1 increase to their weapon damage. And then what else? You get statistics as well. They have a 3 in bulk, a 2 in agility, and then a -2 in mind and magic. And they have an armor of 1 and an ADEF of 1.
Okay. Cool. Fun and regular and normal, and I'm not at all terrified. This is fine. I don't think I can do anything as I am still a dog. How do I become not a dog? Hey, Jeet. real quick. Is that like a full action, minor action?
I'll give you standard action.
Standard action to undog myself.
That feels
I think
about right, I think.
I think I want to become not a dog, if
Okay.
it's all the same, if it please the court.
It is all the same to me.
Excellent. So I think you guys would see, because they're just becoming not a dog. Alethos does not look like anything that you have seen them look like. They are now just a humanoid sort of situation of blue light. Like, you know, Cortana, that sort of vibe. It's giving Cortana, that whole situation. And they are sort of hovering about 2 inches off the ground. Just kind of vibing. Not looking like they're having a great time. That guy looks scary. But I think that's legally all I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for anybody who makes use of mana, if you start your turn in one of my funny little boxes, you roll a d6, and on a 5+, you get a mana back.
I think
So,
you got a couple
go stand in
mana
them.
users here.
Hell
Seems
yeah.
decent.
Is that everything for
I think that's
Alethos?
all I'm allowed to do. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Cool. Who wants to take a sniper shot to the face?
We could just not.
I think Alethos does.
I'm out of
Let's
the
try.
options present. I am more than happy to take a sniper shot to the face.
Well. You've made yourself less known than Alethos has at the moment.
That makes sense, though. I have just basically gone, and become shiny. So that makes sense. That feels appropriate, actually.
Yo, was that dog floating several inches off the ground?
And no longer a dog?
That dog turned blue.
That dog turned blue and really tall.
What the dog doing?
What the dog doing?
There it is. There
Magic,
it
I
is.
think. Unclear.
Alethos, a 12 versus your dodge. How does that?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel good?
No, it doesn't. It does not feel great.
Just a second. I'm just gonna move this guy forward here a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Very kind.
Where's the weapon damage? What the heck? Sorry. Again, still. It's an educational experience for me. That's 262. Where did it go? Okay, we found it.
Nice.
Yes, yes. Okay, if I recall correctly, that's by tiers. So that's going to be. I think it's just 7 physical damage right out. It doesn't have a die attached.
7?
Are you alive?
Are you certain? I am alive, but only just.
I'm not entirely certain, I will admit.
This is the situation.
It's physical damage if you have any armor or anything that reduces that.
Do I look like I wear armor, cheat?
How am I supposed to know that?
You would think that somebody such as myself would be in some way resistant to physical damage. But as far as I can tell, nope.
Okay.
I think Alethos fully flickers out for a second and comes back and looks staticky. Does not look good whatsoever. Oh, I'm bloodied.
Oh, no.
Great.
Well, and to be fair, the way that this game works is I think you lose all your HP and you take a stress and then you go back up to top.
Take a wound, I believe.
A
Not
wound,
stress.
sorry.
Ah, excellent.
Stress is a different thing that some of you are going to get to experience very shortly.
Well, I am
I hate to
bloodied,
break
so
it
I
to you,
take
I'm already
hard
there.
cover now.
That was so
That's just me,
threatening.
though.
Every day I
Uh,
experience stress.
There are bonuses to being bloodied sometimes. Like
For
I get
you?
hard cover until the end of my next turn
That's
because
very
I
good.
glitch out of existence.
So that's going to bring us from sniper number 1 to Tay. I believe you also had phase 3 stuff you wanted to do.
Yeah. So first, I'd like to kind of pitch altering my search action I get as a minor action to
Mhm.
vibe out the person that I was about to trap to see if they are part of these people that are now murdering my friends. Want to
Sure,
get a
you're
sense
just
on
going to
this?
do a search action on Akonis.
Yeah, and I mean, by doing this, I will one, if I succeed, I'm no longer hidden, but I will also fully make myself seen. I'm more gonna be like, what's your deal, dude?
So the search action, when you do that, the succeeding and failing is only if you're doing it against a target that is hidden to you. So if you're looking for a
gotcha.
hidden target, you would roll against them.
Gotcha,
Akonis
gotcha.
is not hidden to you. You are hidden to Akonis.
Cool. So yeah, I'm trying to vibe check them real quick and to see if I'm gonna do anything.
Can I help possibly with this vibe check? And when do reactions happen?
Reactions happen whenever there's a trigger.
Do I consider these people my allies, do you think?
Well, the Marauders are attacking them, and they have not attacked you. And based on what you could tell, it kind of seemed like they were waiting for you.
So to help with this vibe check, hopefully, I mean, you can still do whatever you like, Spark. As a reaction, I have a trait that would let me help out Alethos. When a bloodied ally within my scope. Oh, fuck. Are you in my scope? Where are you? You're the little guy?
Probably. I don't know what scope means yet.
My scope's like 15.
Mine is 12.
I mean, yeah, I think you're still good though.
Yeah,
My
you're
scope
still
is 5.
No.
Well, you're also a melee character, and I think your scope increases when you do your chain stuff.
So I have a trait that would allow me to spend a mana to restore up to 1d6 HP to Alethos.
Sure, absolutely.
As soon as they enter bloodied. I'm gonna roll. I am rolling in roll 20. Oh, I only gave you one. I'm sorry.
Bold.
That's
See,
okay.
That's
more than none.
Yeah, the only HP that matters is the last one.
That's so true, bestie.
Yeah.
I think there's a very strange. I think there's a very strange look from Alethos at that, trying to figure out where that came from.
Yeah,
Not
actually,
fully believing that it came from.
Akonis,
who did that?
Your magic interacts with this thing weird. The healing takes effect, but when you call on this sort of healing font within yourself, whatever this person is that you are trying to help, your new ally, as it were, didn't feel human.
I think Spark would see Akonis, sort of their left hand would come into full view, and you would be able to see that the roots are kind of spiraling around their left hand and coming up almost to like hug their own hand. And there's this sort of like very brief dark green energy that appears in their palm, and it kind of shoots out like a disc toward Alethos. Might look a little threatening, but when it makes contact and Akonis kind of realizes that something is weird about this little guy, they would like kind of quickly recoil and kind of take a step back.
I think we both do that
Alethos,
simultaneously, just like shrink away from each other, like, what the fuck just happened?
Akonis is like, oh no, maybe I've made a bad choice.
I've been shot and it felt nice. I don't.
But yeah, Spark, your Alethos does not look worse for wear for this projectile hitting them. And just based on your search and your vibe check, Connus does not seem particularly violent.
Okay. Yeah, I think then just like from behind Akanis, you hear just like the scurrying of very small footsteps as I just like scurry past you. And this is like a bright orange and pink, colorful kobold, like 2 feet tall. And I just scooch on by and I'm like, I'm going to guess that we are friends. Friends. I forgot I have a lisp. I'm going to guess that we're friends.
Akonis is about 7 feet tall and jumps like foot in the air. Classic I am afraid pose.
Like it's when a snake
Elephant
comes by,
mouse
you know, it's so
situation.
small, but yeah, it's so scary.
And just kind of holds the pose and watches you. Clearly very confused about what the fuck is going on right now.
Just give a really big smile and then just kind of keep scurrying forward. So many teeth, so crooked. Just a horrifying little face with little pink lipstick on, you know, trying their best. But then oh shit, I forgot what my actual volley was. Where is it? Oh, I would then like to I have a whopping 4 speed. Are these all the people on our map are baddies?
So yeah, all the people that don't have like regular tokens are baddies. So like this guy,
Perfect.
this bad boy, this one.
Perfect.
This
Okay, I see
one.
one is closer to us, and that's scary. What the fuck is my actual weapon? There it is. Oh, I only have a melee curling because I forgot to make one. So yeah, I'm going to toss a hinder spell over at this closest one to me. On a hit, target is dazed until the end of their next turn.
So for a volley ranged attack, you're going to do a d20 plus your grit. If it
Beautiful.
equals or exceeds the target's dodge. And can you ping which one you're attacking again?
Yes. They're just right next to me.
This one.
And
Okay.
yeah.
Beautiful.
This is gonna mess me up. Y'all both have A names. But the one closest to me and new friend and capybara friend. Okay, maybe that's a 13 on the die. What's my grit? I just looked and I already forgot.
0.
Where's grit?
Grid is 0 for all of us right now, I think.
Oh, okay. 13.
Yeah, 13's gonna supersede a dodge of 8.
Grid is like your
Yes.
level divided by 2.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
perfect.
We'll get some at level 2.
Perfect. Then yeah, they are dazed. And then I think that is it because I don't think what my summon does is technically during this phase.
Yes, I do believe that your summon will have its own action in its own phase if I recall correctly.
I would assume it would be more like full attack or
Plus
brawl.
1 difficulty to that gentleman. Okay. Beautiful. Does anybody have any phase 4 actions they would like to do? That is to reposition, rush, or hide.
Is all movement under reposition?
I don't think so.
On your turn, I think you can also move.
Okay,
But
you can just do standard movement, but reposition is a special.
Yeah, well, so
reposition and
reposition
rush.
phase gives you hide or rush, so you could just hide, gain the hidden status, or you can rush to move up to your speed.
Okay. No, then.
Okay. That's going to bring us on to phase 5. Any brawlers in chat?
Hi. Hi, I'd love to go on phase 5. Akonis can go before me though.
So Tay just went, Spark just went. That's gonna put us at what am I do Doritos, and then you guys can decide who goes. Because I have some brawlers that would really just love to have at some of you.
Can't believe there's so many fans of the best Super Smash Brothers game.
of Brawl, is that what you're saying? Are you making that claim
Yeah.
right here, right now?
I just thought about what the hottest take I could possibly give at the moment was. But if we count Project M, that's not too far off.
This guy is going to move 4 squares that way. Yeah, no. Should have rushed, buddy. Sorry. Okay. Which one of you wants to go first?
I'll let Akonis go first for sure.
All right. What you got,
I'm going to move my 5 spaces. And Eve, can you tell me again? Do I have to start my turn in your little square to get my mana back?
It's start turn.
Disrespectful. Okay.
Yeah, it is. In turn would be cool, but start turn.
Come on, Eve. I'm going to use my what? Oh, I thought I heard something. Sorry. I'm going to use, so you will see Akonis sort of throw their left hand out, and from the vines, a whip snakes out, covered in thorns and these veiny purple flowers. And I am going to use it to attack Buddy Boy over here. So I need to roll D20, I believe, and it's going to be against his defense.
It'll be against his
sound
dodge.
Right? 15. I don't think it's attack.
Against the Fury is absolutely going to supersede his dodge.
Oh!
You should just have, I think, just like a flat damage to that attack.
I've got 1 D3 physical.
Oh yeah, no, you can. Yeah, it'll be a D6. 1 to 2 is 1, 2 to 3, or 3 to 4 is
just 1.
And then does that have any pluses to it?
No.
Okay, so just 1 damage.
Just 1 point of damage. And then I have a question. I don't think I can do another minor action because I did my reaction, but summon is nowhere on the phase of combat, and technically, Onion is already summoned, but to bring him into combat is a summon, and I don't know when I get to do that, so I was waiting until my attack turn just in case.
If it's a minor action, you could just do it on whatever your whatever phase your standard action falls on.
Cool. Do I still get to do that even though I used my trait to try to give Alethos some help?
Yeah, reactions are different from minor actions.
Beautiful. Then I would like Onion to join combat with me.
Sure, absolutely. You can just
I
draw a
didn't
little
make an
square.
icon. Okay, cool. I'm just going to put him kind of near Alethos, but it's going to take me a second to draw a square, but that's my turn.
All right. That is going to bring us to the Fury's turn, who is not quite as chuffed as you would think. Bonk. And is going to take their movement to come after you, Akonis, because you were mean to them. Fury takes damage. Yep. Okie dokie. Stop. And they're just going to try to swing at you with their axe. That is going to put them at a goofy little 16.
That'll hit.
All right. And they're just going to carve into you for 9 points of damage.
What? Well, I go down.
You don't go down. You take a wound and you go back up to top.
Do I?
And whatever excess damage rolls over.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm bloodied again.
What is your max HP?
6.
Okay, so you take 6 damage, you take a wound, you go back up to 6, and you go down to 3.
Yeah, so I'm bloodied because I'm at 50. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not meant to be in combat.
Okay. Maisie. You're muted, buddy.
I'm deciding whether or not I need to limit break first turn of combat of the entire game.
That's up to you,
Pretty
man.
nice.
Might be good to centralize as many enemies as possible based on what Eve's up to over here.
Yeah. So if I can move here, sorry, let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! Okay. Yeah. I am going to do that.
Yeah.
So just to kind of set the stage a little bit, as we
Please.
kind of moved into combat, these black and white glass chains that Maisie had kind of had on her person as accessories, all that have started to move seemingly on their own. And many of them have dropped down onto the ground and are just kind of following her footsteps as like almost like a shadow beneath her. And some of them are growing like larger and like rising up out of the ground, almost like, you know, like the evil like Lovecraftian villain with like tentacles like rising up out of the ground, like that kind of deal. Like that same idea, but with these chains. And as she kind of walks into the middle of the battlefield, she looks behind at Gigi and then past Gigi, and suddenly every chain like shoots directly out from her at every enemy within range 5, which includes this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So just chains go out and tighten around all 5 of these people. They are just pulled to the closest squares to me. And they are all grappled. So like at the end of this kind of like this burst, it is just a bunch 5 large people around Maisie, who is like generally a very small person, and they are just like racked with chains and held down. JT, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I just gave you the last extra guy because that's cool as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
And also there was an extra guy in there, and I have no fucking idea where he came from. Because I was like, I don't have a stat block for this one. I don't. Yeah, no. Chains whip out. These guys, all fucking as terrified and noise as they can make as inexplicable black and white glass chains wrap around them and yank them towards this small, unassuming girl who just waltzed into the middle of the battlefield for God knows what reason. And they are all grappled. Absolutely.
And after, like, she's gonna look at one of them, just like really, the bags under her eyes like look heavier. Just looks at whichever one summoned the rat, whichever one had that illusion, and just say, "What were you really trying to do?" And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Those 2 guys only wanted to take the cleave action. One of them just had to move.
By the way, it escaping from this specific grapple requires a standard action during any phase instead of a
Yeah.
minor action. Yeah.
And none of them are taking release actions. I'm going to say that you were able to disrupt
Cool.
the channeling of the Mirage guy. But that is, I believe, going to bring us to phase 6 release. Does anybody have anything they would like to release? Anybody?
Looks at GG.
Hi.
Nobody's releasing any spells.
It's me.
It's me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so when I release Arcane Explosion, all characters within a Blast 1 area within scope are auto-hit, taking 5 force. That's if I spend no mana. There's no mana involved yet. But I can spend 1 mana to increase the damage to 1d6 plus 5 force damage. So I'm going to do that, especially since they're all just looking so nice right there, standing together. And it really made my job super easy to draw this little rectangle on top.
Are you
'Cause
going
I
to
can
center
just-
that on Maisie?
I am, in fact, going to center it on Maisie because, wait, there's more. First, they all take 11 points of force damage.
Okay.
Is that a max roll?
Yeah.
Does this include me?
Love this song.
It does.
Wait a
it
minute.
does include, unless
Yes, it doesn't.
It's fine if it does. It is fine if it does.
It doesn't, because I'm going to expend 1 more mana to exclude 1 target from the area. So as this enormous
My
just
toes.
ball of flame just erupts on top of them, there's just like this dark sphere in the middle that just like dissipates, and Maisie's just like standing inside untouched. Because I got that
delightful.
Archmage talent.
Cool. So, 4 of the units here have 10 HP, and as of right now, while we figure out combat, I'm going to give them max of 0 wounds taken before they're actual dust beneath your feet. So that is going to be him. As for the other 2, they're not looking great. They didn't like that very much. And the Fury is going to be a big problem for you, I think, now that you have maxed out his damage buff.
Gigi, like after letting that off, is just like the most maniacal laugh you've ever heard from a person that small.
I'm getting a lot of like Megamine vibes from Gigi, and I fully approve of it. You explosion and just maniacal laughter instead of passed out.
Okie dokie.
I'll do my move action while I'm here and just take a little step.
Spark
Probably a
does
bad move.
yell from across the just giant expanse we are in currently. That was really fucking cool. And then I look over to nope, not Alethos. Shit. What? I don't know
Akonis.
your name yet, but Taylor should. Akonis. And was like, is that the right way to use fuck? I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, I'd say that was pretty solid attempt.
Nice. And then I start to look at my hands and I start to try and conjure up the exact same thing Gigi just did. And that's all narratively that's happening currently.
Jonas has seen this tiny fiery kobold and is immediately just like, I have to protect this thing with my life. I don't understand what's happening. Very afraid of it, but I have to protect them.
All right. Cool. So Maisie, unfortunately, you are next to one of the only characters in this encounter that can full attack. However, they are attacking at a difficulty because of Spark, who dazed them.
Woo.
Yeah.
Are they still
and-
grappled?
Grapple does not give any difficulties to making a melee attack against the target, who's also grappled.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
Does your limit break specifically say that you are not considered grappled as well?
It simply says all enemies of the nightmare choice within range 5 are pulled to the closest spaces adjacent to it and are grappled by it.
Okay.
And they must include me as one of their targets whenever they attack.
Yep. And that is very
I assume,
specifically what's happening, yeah. Are you... How's a 13 feel?
My dodge is 6.
Oh, okay, sure. Not very dodgy, huh?
Yeah, the chains just tank the hits for me. Like, it still lands on me, but it hits a chain, so it hurts a little less bad.
Yeah. You're going to take 5 points of damage from that. And then...
I reduce that by my armor, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine then.
And then a 12, I assume, is also going to hit you. That's going to send
Dodge
you another
still 6.
4 astral damage your way.
Is astral reduced by my armor?
No, I don't believe so.
Because
I think your ADEF is your astral defense.
That
You're wrong.
my ADEF is 7. Are you sure that's not like dodge?
No, dodge is for saves, I believe.
Or is ADEF like?
Oh no, these are
dodge
against your dodge. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Or
Gotcha.
ADEF for etheric attacks, which I think astral
Yes.
is technically etheric.
Yeah, I read it as like dodge and magic dodge essentially.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think with astral damage, it would be against your magic dodge.
Okay, still definitely hits.
Yep. So that's just going to be 4 damage.
Okay.
And then I don't know if your armor reduces magic. I'm going to go ahead for now and say it does, just because that's more fun to me.
I'll take it.
That is going to be our phase 7. Does anyone have any phase 8 actions they would like to delay? Nobody wants to delay?
I think you don't you call that like at the beginning of the round and then you do it at the end maybe?
Delay is if you had a thing but you didn't put it anywhere. At least that's how I read it. Like if you have leftovers for the round.
Or if like you could do it.
If you wanted to take an action but the phase had already passed, you act on this phase.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
But both of my guys went, so yeah. That's going to bring us back up to the top. Does anybody have any recover action, defend, refresh they would like to do?
I am just going to defend.
You're just going to defend?
Yes.
Sure. That's allowed.
Um,
You gain focus equal to 1d3 plus your armor. And then attacks against you take a difficulty.
Cool. Yep. To kind of show this, like the chains that aren't grappling are all just kind of like up obscuring her now, not like right on her, but like up, like right next to her as if to like intercept.
That's delightful. I love that. Big chains. That's going to bring us to number 2, to channel. Anybody channeling?
How bad these guys looking that are left?
So the way that I have this set up is the Fury is your big one. The Fury has a wound, can take a wound.
Okay.
And the Fury currently is bloodied.
Okay.
So you're about there. You'll have to do their hit points twice, essentially.
Cool. Then
and-
yeah, I'm gonna start channeling, and it looks a lot like what Gigi was doing, but not near as perfected and performed. And it's a little glittery.
Mhm.
Nice.
I'm just like biting my lip and squinting and focusing real hard. And I'll just slowly start to walk forward while I do that, along with my doggy.
Absolutely delightful. Alrighty. That's going to be our phase 2. These guys aren't going to act until phase 4 or phase 5. Sorry. Does anybody have any marks, search, or volleys they want to do? Yeah, GG, absolutely.
That's a volley. Yeah, after releasing the like huge explosion, the little like spark hovering above the sword kind of like shrinks and then comes back to like normal size, and then on like a backswing there'll just be like this like lobbed ball of flame that goes towards which one's the Fury? They both
The Fury is going to be the guy with the axe, and then the Cleaver's the big stick. Sorry, let me rotate this guy back.
I can get rid of this as well. It's gone. Okay, so the Fury's this one.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well, I attack it with that. I don't know how that works. I just roll, right?
Yep, you're going to roll a 1d20 against his dodge. Or his A-Def, since this is a magic attack.
Do I add anything?
You can add your grit.
Okay, so no. That is a 17, though.
17 is going to pass his A-Def of 5.
Nice. So I do 1d3 astral, so 2 astral plus 1 discord plus an additional discord. So 2 astral, 2 discord.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Means 4 damage.
But also, apparently this thing is more accurate if a target has discord. Like downloaded on their personal computer, I believe, is what that means.
Well, the Fury is not on Discord. He does not believe in that sort of website.
Oh, is that like Burn from Lancer? Is that what that is?
It's possible. I'll look into it. We'll just say it's a damage, and then I'll mark that there's 2 Discord lingering on him.
Because I have like a little Discord box on my sheet.
Yeah, the NPC sheets that are provided with the book they don't have boxes for Discord or anything like that, sadly, at the moment. But I can add them. That's fine. Okay. Anything else on your turn, Gigi?
I don't think so. I think that'll be it.
Anybody?
I did start my turn in my box, so I need to see about that. Yes.
Get a mana back?
I do.
How delightful. Anybody else doing any ranged attacks, searching? Okay. Eddie? Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
So because of one of the talents I took, my melee weapon gains the Throne 3 or the Throne 1 tag, depending on if it's melee or main.
Mm-hmm.
One of my things is Onion, my capybara.
Yeah.
Can I lob him?
I don't see why not.
I will.
Would you like to throw your capybara?
I would like to throw my capybara. I mean, he's got some HP. He's got more HP than I do, so I think he's gonna be okay.
You do hear
He's a
lots of
hefty little
sparkle
unit.
and cracks as I am walking forward making something.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I will lob Onion over Spark's head. At
Delightful.
the Fury. Before I do that, I am going to use my reaction because I'm starting my turn to recover 1d6 since I am bloodied. Because somebody hates me. Can't believe you invited me to this game, JT, just to kill me. Ooh, but I got 4 HP back. How
Again,
exciting.
you guys have wound caps. I'm not just killing you outright with 7 damage, okay?
Okay, that's what it feels like to me. Oh, 34 health.
You'll be fine.
They're just 6. God, I can't fucking count. And then I'm gonna throw my buddy boy. I don't know what damage he is going to do.
He could do a D3 damage.
Okay, cool.
Roll a D3 for him. But you have to roll the hit first. So you're gonna roll a D20 against
I hope he hits.
and
It's a 17.
Which guy are you tossing him at?
The scariest one.
That would be the Fury, in my opinion. So go ahead and roll your D3 of damage.
3.
3 damage to the
Takes 3
to the
damage
Fury.
from that. And hold on, there's one other thing that I get to do. Where did it go? So once per turn, when I attack a character adjacent to my companion, the companion deals 3 physical damage to them. Does this count? Can Onion deal an additional 3 damage?
Onion is adjacent to him now, so yeah, absolutely he
Yes.
can.
Beautiful.
So he takes a wound.
Yes.
Uh,
I like to think that I kind of throw Onion like a football, and Onion just kind of naturally tucks his legs in and goes nose first because we've practiced. This is not the first time Onion has had to barrel in, and right before he hits with the target, he tucks his head and just like slams into him with his back. Falls, has to like scramble because his legs aren't very long, so he's got to scramble to get standing back up. And then as he's standing there, just like kicks him with one of his back legs for the extra 3 damage.
Absolutely delightful, Onion. Thank you so much for playing.
Onion real MVP.
Onion real MVP. Jesus, you posted Discord in here.
Yeah, I posted it. It's exactly like Burn, I think, pretty much in Lancer.
Successful. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's Burn to the letter actually. Having
it looked like.
Do I have to use a mana to regain a mana in your box? Beautiful.
If you start your turn in there, you just roll a d6.
Okay.
And then if you get a 5 or a 6, you get a mana back.
We're gonna move to phase 5. The Fury is going to go immediately because there is an enemy that can go, and your ally went last. Good luck, Harp. He's taken 5 instances of damage since the start of the combat, which means he's at a +5 to his damage.
Bring it.
That is going to be a 19.
That'll hit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Where did it go? I don't think a 19 is a crit, so he's not going to deal an extra 1d6.
That's huge for me.
That's massive. What's 8 plus 5? 13?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this guy just cuts into you for 13 damage. The axe swings in. You hear glass cracking as it meets with your chains, and it's not so much a cut as it is like a severe bruise.
Yeah, that like actually gets like a recoil. She mostly looked like, I don't know, like kind of like still focused, but just kind of like, okay, I'm doing something now. And now she's like, but yeah.
I'm awake. Okay. Does anybody else have a fight, shove, grapple check they would like to make?
Nope.
Alithos, are you doing anything this turn?
I have a 7 when it's 7 time.
You have a full attack? Okay,
Don't worry
that's
about it.
allowed. You're allowed.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's going to bring us to phase 6 release.
Question, Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Is the use a mana thing to avoid someone a thing you have, or is that a general magic rule?
That is a talent.
Okay.
That is the Archmage talent. But if you're doing the Arcane Explosion, you can probably place it and not hit anybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a capybara in the mix now that I don't want to absolutely murder.
Don't worry about
That's
the
a
capybara.
vaporize onion.
Okay.
Don't worry about the capybara.
Like my
Onion has plot
creatures-
armor. It's fine.
Okay, cool. I was like, my creatures just desummon. I can summon them back. I don't want to murder a capybara. So yeah, I want to focus it like right behind one of the guys, so the blast area will miss my friends, but hit the 3 of them or the 2 of them that are left.
Yeah, that's allowed.
And I will use a mana to make it a stronger hit as well. So I can spend 1 mana to increase it to 1d6 plus 5 force. They're all within my scope, so it's not a hit. So that's, give me a big number. That's a 10 total.
10?
10 damage. Force
10
damage.
That's very good. That's going to knock the cleaver down. And that is going to knock the fury down quite a ways.
Oh, at the end of the Fury's turn, they need to make a magic check or take 2 damage.
Right. You're so right. They
Just
have
in
a
case that
-2 to
changes
magic. That's going to be 12. Do you know what the DC with that for that would be?
It just says make a magic check.
Oh, okay, sure. You know,
It's
I'm just
probably
going to call
against, it's going to be
10+.
against Ethan's save number.
Oh, my save target's 11.
So 12 will make that, and they will clear their
Clear all
Discord
of it.
there.
Clear, get out of there.
Get it out of there. No more bird. Discord. Okay. So you guys are down to the last guy. He's not looking good.
I will say
Get
Onion
on with
is
this.
Onion's out.
Onion is not out. The energy clears, and Onion is just smaller.
Oh,
Onion has burrowed into the ground and is
I was
just
like, Onion, move.
Like just pocket size now.
He
It'll
works like
take Onion a
Mario.
while to grow the moss back, but Onion's okay.
Onion is actually just an onion that has moss shaped like a capybara around him.
Absolutely.
That's
All
amazing.
right. I think someone had a phase 7. Did anybody have a phase 7 attack they wanted to do?
I can,
Nobody?
I can pop off if it please the court.
I'm not seeing any hands for a full attack. Okay, you can take a full attack.
Thank you, God.
You're welcome.
So because this is also my turn, I get to like move a little bit, right? I
Yeah,
can do that.
absolutely.
This
You have
is
a
what
you have
I-
a speed,
I do have a speed.
a number
What
of
is-
squares.
What is my speed? My speed is so many. Oh, my speed is 5. That is plenty. I think I can get right about yay, which is really all I want. Because I like to imagine I was walking over here when there was 2, and now there's only 1, but it's fine. The offer still stands. Ilithos just sort of is like looking very concerned and just sort of like walking closer, like it looks like they're ambulating, but you look at the ground, they're still like floating like 2 inches off the ground. Not quite with the program. And just glowing and getting glowier and statikier. And I have a lunar cannon. It's just like a fun, zesty little thing.
Just a goofy
But
little
like
gun.
for flavor, that's just, that's just part of my me that I do. And I think there's just sort of, you can't really see anything, but there's just sort of like that like shockwave. And if there was any sort of like, I don't know, vibe energy coming off of this dude, it is extinguished. This would be like, this is lunar energy. So I would like to roll to hit this man's with this cannon that is my me. And
Go ahead
hopefully
and
it
roll
works.
against his dodge.
Sick.
Stole his vibes.
Gnarly. I literally.
Yeah.
That is, do I add anything to this? I don't think so. That's a 13.
A 13's gonna do it.
Excellent. So that's 3d6 plus 3 lunar. And it's reliable 4. So he's going to take at least some.
Disgusting.
You're welcome. That
That's not
is
bad.
6, 7, 8, 9 plus 3. That's 12 lunar damage.
Yeah, hold on. The energy clears and there is nobody left standing there. As the drama winds down. The scene goes quiet, and the sound of birds returns as the five of you are left. The four of you are left faced with this new potential ally out here. Not someone you've ever seen before, and Maisie, definitely not something that you have ever thought could exist. This is where we are going to take our break for the evening. And when we return, we will find out who this lovely new individual is. And you guys will be allowed to carry on your journey.
Oh boy. Alrighty, y'all. Everybody stretch, drink, move about. We'll see you in a minute. Not a minute, not legitimately a minute. Like an
Several
exaggerated
minutes.
several
Yeah,
minutes.
Like
it's at least
5 to
a couple.
Like at
10.
least 10 of them. Yeah.
A non-specific number of minutes.
We were so close. Harpy said 11. We did 12.
Damn.
We're so close.
So close.
Plus or minus one.
Plus or
Actually,
minus. We
Harp's
got
I-
distracted by
I
I
cat.
got cut off. You know,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say plus or minus one, but you know.
There we go. There we go.
Give or take.
Give or take.
Vincent
That's what I'm talking about.
fucking hates this game.
Baby.
Welcome back, everybody. Hi. I hope you all had a good, productive break. I hope you got some liquids to consume in you. Stretched your legs a little bit, or your general physical beings in some capacity. Welcome back. You have just finished your first delightful little combat against some marauders out here, patrolling the wastes for hapless individuals who have money or scraps or any other useful resources that they can
Jokes on them. We
liberate
don't
from.
have either.
You have an entire wagon full, or you did. Spark.
I thought the wagon was for Gigi, but if we could have things in it too.
You are noticing, as of current, that the wagon is gone, has disappeared.
Can I whistle for it like you do a dog? Shh. I can't. Taylor can't do that either, but Sparks probably can't either. So she's just going.
She's perfect.
Akonis Onion sort of tumbles back up to you, itty bitty form.
I scoop him up with both hands and just quietly say, "Thanks, buddy." And then I will fold him into one of the little pockets and pat the pocket to make sure he knows he's safe. And I kind of pull some of the greenery from my hair and I'll drop it into the pocket for him to munch on.
Absolutely delightful.
Upon hearing Akonis speak, Maisie is just like trained on Akonis. Just what is going on?
I think Alethos makes eye contact with Maisie, like,
Spark just
Yeah, I don't
walks
know.
right up to Akonis and just puts the arm straight up. I'm Spark.
Nice to meet you. I'm Akonis, and I assume that Spark's hand is
Akonis.
also small.
Oh yeah.
And when Akonis reaches down with the right hand, there are no roots that cover this hand or this
Ooh.
arm that you can see.
Did we have a new friend?
You seem pretty efficient, I suppose.
He just kind of like kicks through a pile of ash where like one of the dudes they vaporized were, and it's just like, so who are those guys?
They don't know.
Marauders.
Oh, they seem
Maisie,
like jerks.
They just kind of. What's up, JT?
Just based on the insignias that they were wearing, you would know that this is one of the marauding bands that sort of stays closer to Farlight, because it's easier to prey on unsuspecting scabs when they're not in two of the most dangerous places on the planet.
Essentially, they just wait for us to do the hard work. They try to grab all the stuff we got when we come back.
That's very rude.
That's good.
Yeah.
I
they
have
wanted to
lose any
fight, they
sleep
found
tonight.
one.
Anyways, looks at Akonis. Hi,
Hi.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I'm Maisie. I'm very sorry if I'm being rude. It's just
Probably going to be starting with an introduction like that.
I don't know if this is respectful or not, but I have not met a reclaimed like you.
That makes two of us.
3.
Okay.
4 and 5, I would also guess.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Pointing at Alethos.
Lethos is just like confusion, tilted head. You speak.
Okay, 5.
Yep.
You...
I can also do this. And Akonis is going to stand up straight, and 2 wings are going to sort of branch out, wings of branches, from their back, and they will hover lightly.
That's badass.
It's pretty.
Thanks.
Yeah, that seems great. Well, I hope those guys didn't give you too much trouble before we got here.
I probably would have gone down if you guys hadn't been here. So
Oh, I gotta pick up my trap. Sparks turns around and starts picking up the trap exactly where you were standing earlier.
I thought we were friends.
I didn't know at first.
Okay. All right. Fair.
I'm Gigi, by the way. There's more name than that, but that's as much as you need.
If you insist. And then Akonis will look to Alethos.
Lethos is just tilt, staring, just like analyze it. Like there's clearly like they see the wings, they want to go look, they want to get really uncomfortably close, but they're like visibly like having to fight that instinct, just not saying anything, probably for the first time that y'all have seen them.
That's Alethos. It happens.
If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask them.
Looks
Can
at
I study your
Alethos and
magic
Gigi.
later? Can I study your magic later?
Is that painful?
Probably not. If it's going to be, I'll ask first.
Hasn't been
Sure.
painful for me so far.
All right.
You're not really my area of expertise, but, I figure we're heading somewhere with a lot of, like, that kind of magic, so I should probably brush up.
I'll point to Spark.
Can I study your wings later?
Sure. This is the weirdest introduction to a friend group I have ever had.
You just see that they've been like doodling on their little notebook, and it's a very crude doodle of Sparks with wings. Yeah.
We're kind of all
Any-
weird, so just,
Gathering.
you fit in.
I'm mostly normal. I'd like to.
Most normal person I know.
The chains seemed a little not normal.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that aside, I'll take that.
Okay. Kind of looked like you could use a nap, maybe.
I'm not really a big sleeper.
Do you live here?
Kind of. I kind of wander. It's not, you guys are kind of the first people to actually stop and talk to me. So it's not exactly easy to make a
I can
home
understand how
somewhere.
that might be hard.
Akonis and Alethos, you guys lock eyes one more time. 'Cause again, I imagine Alethos is just still staring.
Yeah, just sort of pacing at a distance.
Alethos, you lock eyes with Akonis, and for just a brief moment, you feel a spark of a connection, and you were shown a flash of an outpost. Not something you've ever seen. It is covered in plants and very clearly rusted and run down. Akonis, you lock eyes with Alethos, and you feel your chest sort of stir, and just in the back of your mind, you hear Follow them.
I immediately, the wings, they don't really shrink back in so much as the branches kind of just crumble away very quickly, like they've decayed and rotted immediately. And I drop to the ground. And I'm staring at Alethos. I'm not saying anything, but I have a hand pressed to the middle of my chest.
Are you all right? I can't heal like you can.
JT, have I heard this like go get 'em attitude before like this?
Sometimes. It kind of just occasionally pipes in when you're near something that you feel like might grant you answers.
But is it ever this like excited? Like, is that tone familiar to me?
No, this this feels like something else entirely to you.
Oh, delightful. No, I got beat to shit, so I'm not feeling great, but I'm okay. Where are you guys headed? What are you doing outside of the city?
Motions further into the reclaimed wastes.
We're finishing a map.
Of the world?
Like a
It's
treasure
actually
map, I
kind of
think.
unclear. We're just on a job from the Night Watch.
Well, happy to take you through what I know of the wastes.
That would be so helpful, actually. That would
Where
actually
are
be
you trying to get to? What's the end goal? Where am I trying to take you?
Gigi's just like tapping on Letha's like, do the thing.
Uh,
I start to
Yeah.
get the tome out.
yeah. They're just sort of looking at Maisie like. They
It's a
just reach a
tome.
hand out, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Real tome heads.
Maisie, you pull out the tome. That is not a tome; it's a computer. It's a hard drive, but we're calling it the tome now. You pull out the tome and you
Tombstone.
notice, it has a layer of rust over it, just like over the control panel and the general shell of it.
This is.
shit.
I don't think I did that. I don't think I might have done.
You've never rusted any metal before. Your abilities aren't the right kind of magic like Gigi's are.
It would be weird if I did that. Is what I'm gonna say.
We should probably write this down at some point. I don't know how many more times I'll be able to do this before
Sure.
this happens.
Gigi, you have a book to write in?
Yeah. Got a little notebook somewhere, I'm sure, for like personal notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
Most of your other tomes were in the cart.
Well, I settled on 2, and I'm holding one of them, and Maisie has the other one. I don't know what was in the cart.
I think we were
So
just
it's
writing in
cut
it at
down
this
on
point.
books. Yeah.
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 Because I made it for your books and then we didn't. So I think we were just writing in it. So we really got to find that because I'm not about walking. I got little
Very well.
legs. I got to take a
I also
lot of
got
steps.
I don't even have knees. The way
we
I
all
look.
have these. I'll be blessed with these.
Alethos, you take the tome and you can still feel the energy in it, so you reach in and you power it on. And Akonis, you see a map of the reclaimed wastes with little tattered pieces missing almost, as it's sort of guiding them to an outpost, not too far within the little border section where the reclaimed wastes turns into Farlight Valley.
Is it Do I know that area at all?
About as well as most of the marauders trouncing about out there.
Okay. Well, I can get you in the general vicinity at the very least.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be much appreciated. Gigi, are you writing this down? As Gigi is just like probably frantically scribbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll remember it. It's not like
Okay.
eidetic, but it's close.
Arcana Steve, where are you from?
Here.
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
The outposts.
I woke up in the wastes. Like this.
Recently? Or like as a baby?
I don't think I was not a baby. I haven't really aged since, and time passes a little weird when the only way you can keep track is how far roots have grown over your body. And they're going to pull up their sleeve, and you can see that what looks like just small tendrils on their left arm is quite intense, sort of spiraling roots that are hold their arm and seem to disappear further into their cloak.
Whoa.
Yep.
But
Why were
that's
you
cool. We got a
asking-
tour guide.
Why were you asking about the outpost, though? Why? What makes you think I'm from one of those?
Poor guess, I suppose.
Can I do a vibe check?
You can do a.
Is there mechanics for a vibe
called.
check?
It's called Gain Insight, I believe.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I want to do one of those.
Gain Insight. Gather information might be better because you could just ask me a question, but Gain Insight is fine. So go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And if you have any background skills that you think would help you with this, please let me know, and we will discuss.
I don't think any of my background skills are relevant here, JT.
Okay.
You don't have the
Thank you for
vibe
the
checker as a
offer.
back skill?
I don't have the vibe checker, but I do have organ collector, so that'll come in handy eventually.
I don't have any of those.
And which is why I was like,
I'm
pretty
like
sure
the
that's
one
not
guy
gonna
that's
work.
not gonna work on, I think. Fortunately. Sorry. We can't all be blessed by knees or organs.
It's only a 7.
A 7, unfortunately, is going to be a miss. Which, same as gather information, I get to tell you something untrue that you won't believe, or something that you wish wasn't true. And your general vibe check of Alethos, as it stands, is that they're a scav who has seen some shit.
Is that which one do I think that is? I mean, I know what that is, but
It's up to you. I don't have to disclose that information to you.
okay.
It's the vibes.
I did it earlier
Alright.
out of the generosity of my heart.
I don't really say anything, don't really engage. But if you look down, part of the whip has kind of reformed in my hand, almost as like a small dagger. Just something to keep close. And I will gesture with my other hand. Away we go.
Yeah. Alethos probably just notes that with like a look that's like, that's fair. No, I get it. I understand.
How long is it gonna take Onion to come back?
Take maybe a day to
Ask me
regrow.
real questions.
All right. I'm going to, as we walk through, I'm just going to grab like some bark to make him a little bed. And like, I have different sized pockets. So as he gets bigger, I can shift him to the next pocket until he is big enough to walk alongside us to not get stepped on. But I make him a little bed and I make sure he has some water and some snacks as I walk us through the wastes.
Yeah. I will say the day sort of winds down as you guys walk, and you make pretty good headway. You move to sort of set up camp. You find a nice, gentle little clearing. Maisie, you're pretty sure that no marauders are going to come through here. It's sort of a between territory between the roaming bands. And you guys are going to enter downtime. Where you are allotted a list of various downtime activities that you are permitted to do between days. For example, you can create a ritual. You can disenchant something. You can dungeon dive. You can get something. You can hit the books. You can imprint job crystals, make something, pursue professions. If you wanted to, I would say that you could probably do botany or alchemy. There are a few that will be unavailable to you at the moment.
You tell me there's no taverns nearby?
I am telling you there are no taverns nearby, but you guys sort of wind down. You set up camp. Get a nice, gentle fire going. The gentle purple light of the flame.
If nobody else has anything, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to hit the books that, specifically the book that Gigi gave me. It has to do something about shadows. I'm not sure if it's related at all. I'm not sure if Gigi's sure if it's related at all, but I'm down to dive.
Sure, absolutely.
That's like the closest book Gigi could find. It seemed like it might have something interesting in it.
Go ahead and make your roll. You want to learn about shadows, I assume is what you're naming.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Specifically with any relevance to me who lacks one.
Yes.
I don't think there's any skills that I can really apply here, so it's straight roll. That's a 16.
A 16?
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't adding anything.
No. A 16 is going to be a hit. You can ask me up to 3 questions about my topic before the answer. One of them can be untrue.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. First question. Why do I still not have a shadow even when I'm not in the forest?
Yep.
Second question. Does this have anything to do with like dreams and that kind of thing? Third question. Should I be worried about it?
1. Why don't you have a shadow? You lost it. 2, is it related to dreams? Certainly is. Everything that's ever happened to you has been dream related up to this point. Why would the shadow be any different, right? And 3, should you be worried? That depends how worried you are about having a shadow, I suppose.
Okay. That's the end of my...
If you're scared it's off doing something else, you should be very worried. But if you're not, . 'Cause, 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 '
It just made me worried, JT. It's fine.
My job is not to
Anyways,
comfort
whoever
you
else wants to do a downtime activity, I guess.
Yeah, I think that Spark has probably been just chit-chatting with anybody, but definitely with our new friend Akonis,
here. Mhm.
and would have started asking about a bajillion questions about Onion and be very amazed by Onion because Spark has fake pets, and by fake pets I mean they're magic weird summons from another plane of existence, not like tactile.
Right.
So it's probably asked a bajillion questions, specifically like how large does it get, like how small does it get, what's like the biggest problem that like little Onion has to overcome in their life. You know.
Akonis has like pulled some twigs and things down and kind of made like a little fenced area to place Onion in. Not to keep Onion restrained because Onion will not be governed, but to make sure that nobody else steps on him while he is still regrowing his size. And even now, throughout the day as we've traveled, you can see that some of the moss has just started to reform. And this is his natural size. What you saw earlier is about as big as he gets, maybe a little more if I can get him some really good food to snack on. But yeah, the moss is kind of just keeps him a little safe, a little warm, just in case anything happens.
Okay, I'll be right back. And then Spark just disappears into the forest for a hot minute, and I would like to use my make something downtime action.
Sure. What? What are you making?
So, y'all know Hammond in Overwatch. I would love to make a little capybara ball that that Onion can control and maneuver about, but gives them a little bit more like cushion so they don't like immediately get stepped on.
Sure.
Eventually
I'm
we'll
not
add
gonna
like
ask you the
legs and
three-
grappling hooks, but currently we're just looking for the
Yeah, of
ball and
course.
the structure.
a capybara.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your roll. If you've got any
Cool.
applicable skills, let me know, and I'll tell you if they add accuracy.
I am in fact a tinkerer.
Okay.
That seems
You know what?
pretty-
I'll allow it.
Seems pretty accurate to what I'm doing.
You can add that.
The whole whopping 1 on that, but that's okay. That makes it a 17, 18.
17, 18. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. I like picking complications.
Yeah, did we get any sense of where my wagon went as we were walking? I was gonna
If
ask
you
that,
want to
but
go
I
ahead
didn't
and
want to
roll
stop.
a gather information check as well.
Yeah, totally. That one is also a 17. That is my number of the night today.
Okay. Let me finish up this. Make something here real quick, and then we'll address the missing cart. Say it requires a rare, unique ingredient that you have on you at the time, but you have to spend it to make this thing do what you want it to do, and that is a rare, unique ingredient that you will not have later.
Okay, valid. Do I need to decide what that is, or do we want to?
If you would like to decide what it is, I will allow you to do so. Otherwise, I will just hold on to it until you do another make something.
Maybe it's some one of the little articulating bits, you know, like I used some already for the wagon legs, and I'm using some to like help with this so he doesn't get stuck. He can kind of make little legs and scurry about.
Mm-hmm.
So I've used all my legs. That's why I really need this wagon back.
All the legs are gone. And just real quick before we jump to the wagon thing, as you were sort of putting the final touches on this thing, this machine whirs to life. In the thrum of the machine turning on, clear as day, you hear someone say, "Hello?"
I lean in. Hello?
No response from the ball.
I look to my little slime that's been on my shoulder. They help me hold tools just with their sticky little body. And then just big eyes back and forth. That wasn't you, right? Have I named them? I don't think I've named them.
I have not heard a name personally, I don't think.
Thump.
Thump?
That's the noise he makes when he moves. Thump. Thump.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, no response from the ball.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly normal event that's happened just now. You get to ask me a question, gather information.
Which direction did it go? Where are the little footprints?
It went in the direction that you guys are going in. It's just going a lot faster than you.
To a fifth. All right. Next time I'm going to put like a little clicker button, a little turn off switch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick up the ball. Probably kind of already forgot the fact that it just talked to me and then run back into the camp. Just hold it up to Akonis.
Thank you. And I'm gonna grab it, but I'm just holding it in my hands because I don't know what is happening.
I'll like push a little button on the side and the little hatch opens on top, the same. And Thump will just like squeeze its way out.
Oh.
It's for Onion.
Is this? Oh. And Akonis, like, you can hear their voice kind of start to strain a little bit, almost like they've got kind of a lump in their throat. And they're going to kneel down and make themselves as small as they can and hold it down for Onion and say, "They got you a gift, buddy." And I'm going to hold it with the hatch open toward Onion to see if Onion wants to crawl inside. JT, does Onion like the gift?
Got a d20 here. It's my good d20. It rolls higher than the other one statistically.
You better.
Are you really leaving this up to a roll? You can't just say yes, he likes the gift.
You could have decided that he liked the gift all on your own.
No, I don't control him. Onion cannot be governed.
Well,
Except by the die.
Onion indeed cannot be governed. As he sort of sniffs it, paws at it a little bit, and cocks his head. And then he sort of sits down and tucks his paws under.
I'm going to put it like down on one hand, and with my other hand, I'm just going to scoop him and put it in.
Like just a cat in a carrier.
I look inside the little hole, and I'm sure Onion is like scrambling and staring angrily. And I just look at him and I say, "We've never gotten a gift before, bud. Don't blow this. Be chill." And I will shut the lid. I don't know if it like, does it screw shut or does it just clasp?
Yeah, probably just clasp. You know,
Okay,
there's
I'm gonna
a release switch.
I'm gonna shut it, but like not lock it all the way. So Onion will escape because that is what Onion does. But I'm gonna turn around and hold it and say, "He really likes it. Thank you."
He's clearly trying to bump the ball out of your hands.
The, like scratching on the inside.
This is really nice, and I'm like holding it close to my chest.
I just kind of like lean in a little bit to it and put my hands around like I'm whispering to Onion. I'm just like, "Tell me what the voice says if it talks again." Okay, good night.
Sorry, what?
What?
I'm gonna like hold the ball out. Did something talk to you? Is this not safe? And I'm already reaching in to scoop Onion back out.
To be fair, a lot of things talk to me that other people can't hear. Though it might just be in my head. Or it might be real life. Or it might not. Or it might be Thump.
unexpected understanding. Same thing. And I will look at Onion and kind of shrug and pour him back into the little ball, set it on the ground. Thank you. And very abruptly, I'm going to sit down and start fiddling into my cloak. And I am going to pull out something that you cannot see and start working on it. And Akonis almost like, it's very clear that Akonis is like, people say thank you after a gift. I have said the thank you. I'm going to sit down. I am done. Interaction is not necessarily something that they have a lot of experience with. But they are going to sit down and start working on something.
Look, I mean, I feel like Spark also is like, they said thank you. And now the interaction is done. So we're on the same page. So they've just like turned around and you hear them just start yelling as they run across the camp looking for Gigi. Excitedly, like, I did your magic. And then, like, you know, just remembered hours later.
All right. Any other downtime activities from anyone else?
I kind of want to do this one just because I think it'll be fun. There's one called Just Take a Breather. And it has like some good effects and maybe some bad effects. I think Gigi has just spread out like the one book that they have with them, just like open with like papers kind of spread around and then like holding a teacup and just sitting like cross-legged. All you just like 90% hat when sitting down that way. And it's just like slowly scanning everything, trying to maybe figure something out. But this is, you get the idea, this is relaxing. This is what like relaxing for fun research looks like. Where it's just, you know, like, does inspiration strike or not? It's fine either way.
Roll a d20 about it.
Point of order, how do you sit cross-legged if you don't have knees? Asking the real questions.
I don't run like I have knees. But I do technically have knees. Okay, that is a 15.
A 15? Okay. So there are two lists on the Take a Breather, which I believe you should have pulled up.
Yes.
So you go ahead and pick one from the bad list and then pick one from the good list.
Okay, from the good list, I'm going to pick gain an interesting or useful piece of information because it feels the most appropriate. I don't know what I would fill in the blank with, but you couldn't stop thinking about blank also feels very appropriate. But I don't know what that intrusive and persistent thought would be necessarily.
That's okay. I can handle the intrusive and persistent stuff.
I love that.
Okay, so you do gain a useful piece of information. As you are reading, you sort of begin to see patterns almost in this book that you hadn't before. These theories that the way that source is now, the way that magic is now, is so deeply ingrained in the layers of reality, making Forsaken and probably the rest of the universe weird. So much that it has weakened the walls of reality. And that if one were to, say, perfect a theory like this, you could reach to other versions of yourself. Now, as for what you can't stop thinking about, you did watch 6 men get incinerated today. Did those men get incinerated in every reality? Did you destroy an entire reality by incinerating them? Ooh, hi, buddy. He's got a lot to say. So that is sort of on your mind as you sort of uncover this piece of information that there are, let's just, for simplistic terms, echoes out there.
I think like anybody nearby or like running by would just hear Gigi say, I thought I decided not to lose sleep over this.
Maisie
Disrespectful."
looks up at Gigi because I imagine they're like sitting like near each other. Maisie looks up, decides not to say anything, and keeps reading.
Healthy. Anyone else got anything they would like to do? Yeah, Alethos.
Alethos is gonna do what they do best and be strange.
Of course.
I think this probably looks like, because Maisie and Gigi are mostly dealing with books, with paper at the moment. So I think that feels safer than whatever Spark is tinkering with, be it metal or otherwise. So they're probably sitting a little ways away from you two, just sort of staring in that like studious sort of way that they've got. And then like occasionally part of their body will change and shift to sort of mimic something. So they'll like steal Maisie's hair for a second. And then they'll sort of like put the mask on that Gigi does and try to like fuck with it a little bit. They're gonna spend their downtime training one of their background skills.
Okay.
Which is, what did I call this? Yes, people-pleasing persona. I am trying to be. I'm taking inspiration from all of you, but basically trying to like shift their person and try to get the vibes on like what sort of vibe do you guys like? What sort of vibe do I look like? And then you guys all kind of like look away a little bit. Like, what are the vibes? Like, what do you guys like me to look like?
Go ahead and make your training roll.
Excellent. I don't know what that is.
You just roll a d20.
Just roll a d20? Cool. I will certainly try. This die is going in jail. That is a 6.
A 6?
Yeah.
You... Use this activity. Okay. Actually, I don't think you had to roll for that for background skill. It doesn't have a little rolly chart. So
Oh, yeah, that's
I
for classes.
think you just get to use your downtime to increase that by 1.
I'll take it. It can.
Absolutely.
I mean, it can definitely be like obtrusive and like badly done. This doesn't have to be pretty, and it probably isn't.
You guys just see throughout the night, Alethos is sitting at the edge of camp, just changing.
I think what makes it perhaps the strangest is that at some point they're pointedly giving Akonis a little bit of space because there was a knife involved. They clearly don't like me. But you will see those same sort of purpley vines start crawling up one of Alethos' forms. Or probably several of them, just like throughout the night. Occasionally they'll take a form, and then those vines will start and they'll switch. And then a couple forms later, the vines will start and they'll switch.
Oh, sorry, you go first.
No, all you.
As Alethos is doing this, Maisie's probably like munching on like some rations or something, and just like without really looking up from the book. By the way, Alethos, that blue thing you did, you floated. That was cool as fuck.
The blue thing, and they'll just sort of like switch back to that blue sort of staticky, magic-y looking form.
Yeah,
You mean
just like
this?
glances back. Yeah, that one.
This is me.
Dope.
Oh.
Dope.
Yeah, wait. Do you mean like? Yeah, I know you can turn into stuff. No, that one's cool.
Yes, this is me.
Oh.
Agreed.
You like this one?
I thought it was cool.
Hmm.
Looks at GG. Looks at like anybody else. Like,
Mm.
Huh.
Is it,
You
Never
got
said
biggest explosion.
that was not inherent to this form.
Better.
is it hard to be other forms?
It takes practice to get it right. And they'll sort of like try to like mimic your sort of like horn situation, and it's not quite the right shape, and then it shifts, and it's still not quite the right color, and it like takes them a second. Takes practice and effort.
So it's
But it's
easier to not do that?
once it's done, it's done. But doing it takes effort, yes.
You're very
you know, if you're
interesting.
ever, oh sorry,
Oh, that.
if we're ever in a fight,
We were.
I don't know. Yeah. If we're ever in another fight, it'll probably happen at some point. If we're ever in another fight, if you want, just because like it looked like you got hit
Yes.
pretty decently, yeah, that looked rough. Sometimes people don't want to hit me as much because I have a bunch of like chains as defense. I don't know if you can. Actually, I don't know how it would work. I was gonna suggest you could look like me so people want to hit you less.
Oh, and they
Or
immediately like
just like
you blink and they look like you.
oh, gee, okay, yeah, that's okay, yeah.
This is good.
Um,
And their voice sounds like Maisie's voice. It takes them like a couple seconds to get it, but the voice changes too.
okay, yeah, that is okay. Looks at Gigi.
Do you like this?
It'd make you feel better if the nose was different, right?
A little,
Mhm.
but that would kind
At
of
least
defeat the
the
point.
nose.
They'd be like, you know.
I mean, how would they know?
Yeah.
They don't know what your nose looks like that much. It's a pretty personal thing, somebody's nose.
I'll think on that.
Just eyes back and forth as you guys are talking, like, okay, but do they like it?
Yeah, well, I mean, just like if you're thinking about like in a fight, like that could be useful to just like have on deck, right?
Yes.
Just like
If you're not
confuse
opposed
them.
to me, if you're not opposed to me being you, I am not opposed to being you.
Listen, half the time I don't even care if I'm me.
Some people take issue with it, so
It'll. I'm not gonna. It'll take some getting used to, but like sometimes, if it means winning a fight or dying, I'm totally okay to be a little thrown off.
but not now.
You can do whatever you want. I'm just reading a book.
You
You
said
can do
look
whatever
like
you want
you.
right now.
We're already us, so you be you.
Yeah, whatever's
They just sort of
easiest, honestly.
It doesn't matter once it's done. But if you'd like me to be me, and they just, sort of glitch into that blue form, I can be whatever you'd like.
You're very pretty.
Thank you.
Absolutely delightful, very wholesome tonight. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to do or handle before we go to bed and cut to tomorrow? Nothing?
Oh, so like as people are getting set up for bed, I am just going to go, hey, just real quick, sometimes I sleepwalk. So if you wake up, I'm not in the, in my, little bed. Don't worry, I'll come back.
Should we make sure you don't?
No, well, you can try. It's not really like just don't worry. Just don't worry about whatever. I'll be good.
You want a buddy?
JT?
It's no, I'm fine.
Fang can hang out with you. Points back to the shadows where you just see that like spooky dog's like eyes reflecting. He's just been hanging out back there the whole time.
Okay. No. First of all, that's fine. That's fine. I'll be good, I promise. No, I just wanted to I just wanted to give everybody a heads up so that if I wasn't there, nobody would go off looking for me because that would be dangerous.
Yeah. Akonis, you have a question?
Do I sleep?
What do you think?
I mean, I'm technically undead.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Yeah. Akonis will kind of just nod their head in Maisie's direction, but they don't say anything.
Maisie will do a little nod back.
The night carries on. The night watch hangs overhead as it sort of shares the light of the two suns with you, which it is not typically wont to do unless the suns are not facing your side of the planet. Hangs overhead, and it keeps you all company as you drift into a rapidly passing slumber for those of you who do sleep. Mostly peaceful this evening. A few dream-themed reminders for everybody of the events of the past few days and the things that you are holding tension in your shoulders about visit you in your mind at night. But otherwise, you're fine. You wake up, the two suns rising over the horizon, and the twilight yet again cast its early morning to the Farlight Valley. The rust caller's scar once again looming on the horizon, casting its mighty shadow over you. You pack up camp, and you begin to move. On a mostly uneventful day. The weather is nice, and the plants are getting denser and denser as Akonis slowly leads you all to the edge of the Farlight Valley, where a large tree has suddenly grown in size over the course of the day. The life tree, as it is colloquially referred to by most citizens of Farlight, this big centerpiece of a living, breathing jungle occupied primarily by reclaimed. Scabs that go in and can't cut it don't get to come out, typically. You are about an hour's travel from your first outpost as you begin to make your trek into the jungle. You can hear the ambient sound of various animals watching you, being careful as the temperature begins to rise and those of you capable of sweating begin to do so. The air is thick. It is almost viscous in its texture, as much as air can be. You get to be about 45 minutes into your travel into the reclaimed waste when you hear a metal clanging, a repeated drum echoing out into the forest.
That is not a normal sound here.
Okay.
I think when the clanging starts, it catches Gigi like mid sentence where it's like, So I mean, Maisie, we did that, and it was very intuitive, and it really was extremely effective in combat. I feel like we need to name that. You know, like I feel like we need to name it. And hey, Spark, you're in too, right? Because if we could all do that at once,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Big
Well,
and loathing.
we need to.
I can take
We need to teach you how to. Anyway, another time. But we got to.
Their hands are starting to glitter again. Oh, not now.
But what the hell is that?
Big bang. Get it? Because what the fuck is that?
Clang reverberates through the forest.
We're after something that's metal, right? Probably, right?
We're going to a building.
To an extent, yes.
I thought we were drawing a map.
That one's metal.
I also thought you were drawing a map. Are you hunting?
Yes, but the places on the map are, well, sort of.
I might be misunderstanding our whole situation, but I thought we were like looking for other things that like help this thing.
Yeah, we gotta get more, like more
Pieces.
pieces of the map. It's pieces?
Yeah.
More information for the map.
Are
Information.
they all gonna be
like
that
this.
big and heavy?
May be able to consolidate them. It will depend. We should figure out what that is, though.
I agree. Can we suss out the direction, JT, of where this banging is coming from?
It's coming from where you're going.
Of course it is.
Do I see my little wagon footsteps coming this direction? Are we still on its trail?
You absolutely do, yeah.
We see it repeatedly running into something.
The door of
That's
the
the
outpost,
plan.
perhaps.
The trail of the wagon currently does not indicate that it bumped into anything on its way. In fact, the wagon seems to have moved rather adeptly through the jungle.
It's a good wagon.
Thank you.
But if you guys are simply proceeding towards the loud metal clanging,
I could scout ahead if we want.
Easy
hop
moves
on
with
my-
impunity through all situations.
Yes, I hop on my little shadow dog. Can sneak.
You were
I just
better
get
at
a
that
pep in my
than I
step.
was.
Those of you who would like to scout ahead and do so unseen may roll me a move unseen check.
Heck, yeah.
14.
14, okay.
Give me a second. Oh, 11.
I feel like I should get a bonus for scout form, but I don't think I do. 19, though.
19?
Well, I got an 8, so.
Okay.
Well,
Everyone who rolled a 10 or less is not very sneaky at all and will be seen if there is, in fact, something to see you. Anyone who rolled between a 10 and a 19, you are moving unseen, but you can only pick one of the following options. Either you leave no trace, or if you need to depart, you do so cleanly and unnoticed.
I picked that one.
Okay.
I'm just walking like normally.
Yeah.
just a guy.
Canis and Gigi with absolutely no decorum whatsoever, moving plainly through the jungle. The rest of you feel pretty secure in your movements, as they would be obscured by most viewpoints from the direction that you were heading. You come to a small grouping of trees. The trunks of the trees here are smaller than the surrounding jungle. if only because they are not getting as much access to the soil below due to the fact of there's a big hunkin' outpost just sitting right here in the middle of the forest. And there are bushes and trees and vines and all sorts of little bugs and skitterings all over the outside of this outpost. A lot of the trees seem to have just grown through it, and the heavy, thick vines are wrapping and sort of beginning to crush the outpost underneath them as nature attempts to reclaim this area of itself.
Oh, I get it.
Bashing up against the door is one certain unreliable wagon trying so desperately to get inside.
Hey, buddy.
I just love that this is our little like quest marker, like walking path indicator, like, you know, and it's like, oh, how do I get to my objective? And you get we just get the little footprints from the cart as it beats us everywhere we want to go.
I love it.
Point of
Give
order.
it little dunk
God.
dunk.
Yeah.
Is this an outpost that I would recognize? Say, perhaps from one particular spark of memory recently uncovered?
No. You might recognize the name. This is Outpost Delta. Specifically
Assuming that's
housing.
written somewhere.
Yep, just right above the door. That
Okay.
In a language that you can easily parse. The rest of you see a bunch of meandering letterings and odd symbols up above it. The wagon stops pounding on the door at your arrival and just sort of sits down.
Take a break, buddy.
I feel like Gigi's like trying to translate it and gets like out. Is that a house?
Outpost.
Okay, it's similar. That one?
Delta.
Gotcha. Yep. Haven't read any of that in a long time.
Alethos, just from what you can tell on the outside, the door is sealed shut. Something that the outposts did in case of a rust collar wave event, essentially, an Arethian wave event, testing all of the various technologies that they were attempting to use to leave the planet back from what you can remember. In case bad stuff happened, they would seal themselves shut. And this outpost is clearly still in lockdown.
Would this have sealed itself shut, like with folks in it?
Mm-hmm.
Were these built for folks to exist in for extended periods of time?
No.
We might be able to get in, but it might not be pretty.
We're not here for pretty.
I would make different architectural decisions.
I don't think that's what they. Fair.
Anyone who we would have found in here is long gone. Well, the part of them that matters. Can I
Yes.
open the door?
Do you reach up and try to use the access panel?
I think as long as nobody stops me, yes.
It looks like they know what they're doing, so I'm.
Maisie, you've seen this before. Outposts that are sealed are usually not something you guys would want to go into anyway, just because everything inside is either damaged beyond repair or they're just not worth it for the trouble. You see Alethos reach up and the outpost sort of reacts as display sort of liquid source basically drips down the access display, and it creates sort of the text for a touch screen. It is a liquid source display. They run source across glass, and that creates their interface.
That's so cool.
Alethos, you reach up to interact with it, and you reach into the outpost to sort of call off this lockdown. And in the instant of a splitting headache ejecting you from the outpost, you are met with flashes of distress met with visions of loneliness, of people just sort of picking spots to live out the remainder of their days in this outpost as they try to escape the wave events that happened here didn't come from inside the outpost. It came from outside. As the artificial amulet that resides within this outpost simply had to follow its orders. It didn't know if the outside was safe, so it sealed them in, and upon reawakening this outpost, the door slides open with a screech. The metal of the doorway is bent and is grinding with the metal of the door. And you look in, there is moss and water and vines all over, and there's absolutely no light.
I think that, like, being shoved out of this is visible, I think, to everyone else. Like, I think they physically, like, step back with that.
I would almost say, even for a brief moment, any disguise you were wearing drops and your blue hue turns to a red hue very briefly.
Yeah, I imagine they had stuck with blue just because people seem not to mind it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sort of like, yeah, flashes red and they just sort of stagger back. Just sort of blink it off, shake it off. Slowly it comes back to blue, but it takes a second. And they sort of look very sad at this interface panel. And we'll say something in a very sad tone in a language that I assume none of you speak very well.
I only read it sometimes.
Then I won't bother translating. But they seem very sad. But they will step aside, and if people want to go in and see, I imagine this is potentially something on the map that we need to get. Because we're collecting outposts a little bit, yeah?
I just sit in my cart and light a torch and just see if the cart goes somewhere.
The cart's not moving right now.
Are you tired? I pet him.
As people like kind of start to light things up and move in, just to Alethos, hey, this is probably kind of hard for you. You don't have to come in. We can do the whole inside part by ourselves. Thank you for doing that. That was nice.
No, I should be there.
Okay, I trust you. Starts walking.
You guys begin to move in as the 5 of you enter. Behind you, not a screech, but just a loud burst of air slams the door shut.
Jesus.
All you can hear outside of your own breathing are drips of water. The smell in here, it smells as though an ecosystem has been unable to get off the ground from the start of it, which would have been decaying organic matter. The plants have taken their place here, but otherwise the metal panels, the lights, completely off. To get to the hard drive, you guys would need to go to the core of the outpost underneath it, which means finding stairs or taking an elevator. But as you guys move through, there are various rooms you can have a look around in, conference rooms, places that you would assume people to be meeting, a couple auxiliary rooms with engines in them that you could, if you wanted to, sort of attempt to light up. But I leave any extraneous ideas of that up to you, as you guys are left as alone as you can possibly be.
I'm not sure how much this would affect everyone else, but I am effectively a sunrod, as we discussed. So Alethos gives off an amount of light. I don't know that it's necessarily enough to say, like, read off of, but it's something. Some help.
Gigi will look at Alethos and say, is this kind of stuff, those are your proclivities, right?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we all got our proclivities.
Yes, I...
Like this stuff.
Yes,
If you
this
tell me
is-
what to do, I might be able to help.
Perhaps. This is what I was made for.
So your proclivity, yeah, that's pretty, yeah,
Yes, my proclivities.
very accurate.
I don't think Maisie understands like this is what I was made for, and she interprets that as like a passion, like this is what I was made for, and she's like, yeah, for sure.
You
get
go,
that.
girl.
Alethos does not expect anyone to believe them or get it, or they just sort of, they say it, they're like, they say it as though like it's an argument that they've had a million times and they've never won. Like, yeah, this is what I was made for. Let's go get it.
So, Akaneth, you've never seen one of these places?
If I have, I don't remember it, but I have at the very least never been able to get one of the outposts open. So
Interesting. I'm like hefting the wagon up on my back and walking him so you could take a break.
The wagon can. We don't need to bring the wagon in if you don't.
It'll
If
run
it's too
Yeah,
away
you could have left the
again.
wagon outside.
No.
The door's shut. You
Yeah,
can't
he'll
leave.
dunk, dunk, dunk.
Yeah.
It'll be nice for echolocation.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a way out.
I'm gonna start looking for a elevator or a stairwell or something to get to where we need to go.
Yeah.
Picking up anything interesting off the ground. Anything that I can tinker with eventually, you know?
Anything
Very,
that I think
like-
will like explode if they pick it up, I will be like, maybe don't.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
aside from that, go off.
anything interesting shaped, any really good vines and sticks, as well as like whatever like man-made things are here.
Okay. Akonis, you sort of begin to meander around. This is a relatively open area at the moment that sort of leads into the hallway that you think might go to some sort of elevator. You walk past an engine room, essentially, and you can feel in your chest, and as your vines sort of extend out, your branches generate almost of their own volition, as that little voice in the back of your mind goes, "In there!"
Like I am being piloted, I will immediately just shift and head in that direction.
It leads you right up to the cult classic big red button. A
Oh,
label
man.
you can't read.
Does it say anything else?
It feels as though you can understand why it brought you here.
The Conus might not push the button, but Kian would never pass up this opportunity. I'm gonna ask it. What happens if I push this button?
Doesn't respond.
God damn it.
Are you?
I don't know if
asking it out
anybody's paying
loud?
attention. Yep, I was
I
gonna
mean,
say
I
if
was kind
anyone's
of
paying
looking for
attention.
bullshit, so.
Yeah,
I
Akon
am
is absolutely
actively
said it out
looking for so
loud.
much shit.
Oh, yeah.
Did something talk to you again? I haven't heard anything. Nothing.
No, just found a shiny button. Feels like I should touch it.
This feels like the worst thing to point out to Spark.
Yep.
Would I know what this room is for, God?
Yeah. This is one
Okay.
of the auxiliary power rooms.
Oh. Is this the meltdown button or the turn on button?
No, the meltdown button is deeper in the facility.
Mhm.
Multiple.
Okay, so is this safe to let them touch? Do I know that?
You would. This is what you would call probably an override, a partial override of the lockdown.
Hmm. Yeah, Lethos just stands in the doorway.
Not even registering that Lethos is watching. Do we touch it?
I mean,
Do we press it?
I don't want you guys to kick me out of the group yet. I just got here.
We all just got here too.
Okay. We'll push the button together. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
And with a click,
I do not push the button.
I do.
The Conus pulls their hand back.
My eyes were closed.
Lethos will
Though.
remember this.
My eyes are closed though, so I think we are sharing in this experience together.
you feel the moment happen together, Spark.
Like,
With a click of the button, a bright red light flashes as a loud buzzer sound. More of an alarm than a buzzer, I suppose. Sounds once. And then you see a little thin trail of light go from the button onto the floor and trail past. As this light sort of follows into the hallway, any plant life that was on top of this strip is immediately burned away.
Step back very
Yeah,
far
I'm
away.
like, I just pushed Akonis back a step.
But it is lighting your way. It seems to have granted you some auxiliary access to the facility. To end the lockdown, you do need to get to the core as well. But this is a good step forward.
Lethos, I found a button and pushed it.
You did. Alethos looks almost proud.
Is there more buttons?
There are many buttons within the facility, yes. I would not recommend pressing all of them. This one is fine, though.
yeah, great job on that, for sure.
I think Gigi's just holding like a button that doesn't. It's like not a. It got pulled out of a console or something, and it's just like, I found this on the floor.
Can I have it?
What?
The button.
Pop it.
You take this button in your hand, Spark. Once again are greeted. Hello?
I immediately look up to Akonis, the back of the button, and then up at you with this very questioning look in my face.
Do any of the rest of us hear that?
Nope.
Connus just glances down. Did it happen again? You want to put it in the ball for now? Maybe.
Yeah, I was short. Thort, one button. Scoot over. Again, just a little bit, just wiggle it into a little console button for him. Interesting. Okay. Now what?
Shall we find the core?
Is that where the light leads?
Probably.
Only one way to find out. Is there anything turns as walking just kind of does a 180 to Alethos? Is there anything that if we touch in here will kill us?
Almost certainly.
I don't think Akane should touch that light.
Yeah, nope. I agree with you on that one.
I don't think, just to be clear, I don't think any of us should touch that light. It feels dangerous. Better to use caution here than, just touch stuff. I don't. Maybe you're fine, Arthos. You know better than me in this situation, probably.
There is no reason to touch the light. It is providing light.
Cool.
It
Awesome.
does so without being touched.
There's forbidden magic in here.
Define magic.
Can be forbidden.
Magic, you know. Manipulation of the very fabrics of reality. Magic. The forbidden kind, the fun kind.
There's funner magic.
If you find the kind of magic in this outpost fun, I have concerns.
All I've seen so far is a big button and a light on the ground.
There is more.
And a really wet screen.
I think we have conflicting understandings of what the word wet means.
It's covered in liquid. That's wet.
I'm not sure how to clarify that.
If I'm covered in water, I'm wet, right? Or
That
tea.
was not water.
But tea's also, well, it's kind of like water.
It was also
But
not tea.
But if I were covered in...
If you were covered in source, you would have bigger problems than being
Or-
defined as wet or not.
Some really big booms with that.
You guys,
Did
I
you-
don't know what sort of proclivity they thought I had, but I feel very over my head.
Then you are smart.
Yeah.
But we are pretty short, so a lot of things are over our head. That's why I wear the hat.
That's smart. But then they cover up my horns.
Put little hats on the horns.
Okay. Spark is immediately not upset and just starts skipping down this lighted path.
Yeah.
Boy.
You move down the lighted path. It is humming with energy. And aside from that hum, as you move, all you can hear are the echoes of your feet colliding with the ground before immediately leaving again, as some of the energy of your movement is dispersed into sound. You guys move down the hallway as you come to an elevator that appears to now be lit by what is effectively an emergency light. It is bathed in a very dim white glow. The button panels are unreadable at the moment, but with Alethos in hand, they can sort of guide you to the lower levels of the core. And you guys begin a slow and awkward descent down. It takes a minute, give or take. It feels like a minute. Unsure as you may be in somewhere that doesn't have windows, no way to measure how the suns rise. You are deposited on the bottom floor of this outpost where there is caved-in walls and dirt pouring into the facility. Plants growing from that. And one long maintenance hallway. In the far distance of the hallway, echoing down the way, you can hear the scraping of metal.
That sounds bad. Not gonna beat around the bush. That sounds bad.
If anything,
Could be anything.
if anything is moving in here, it just sort of like a look towards Akonis.
What if it's just like a door that's like stuck?
Yeah.
Because it's old.
You're right. It's probably just a door.
Or what
Probably
if
just a door.
it's another wagon that somebody else bought?
So maybe it's
Yeah.
another door.
I don't recall the Arethians having wagons like yours.
Unique. I can
One way to find out.
again.
Take off down the hallway.
I
right.
chases after Gigi.
Yeah, perhaps I should go. Okay.
The light from upstairs does not reach down here. It does not continue. It was only meant to power the elevator, so you could come down here and end the lockdown if necessary, if the outpost's emulect decided it was safe, which clearly it never did. You move down the way. Which one of you thinks you might be the most perceptive of the five of you?
That's perception work.
Probably
It's
me.
not really work. I'm just asking vibes-wise.
My eyes are always on a swivel, looking for all sorts of things. Hence being an avid learner and a copycat and all of the I soak it all in.
Then
My
Spark,
only claim
you-
would be knowing the place,
Right.
knowing what would be weird.
Spark, I'll say this. As you guys move down, the metal scraping is stopped. But you do notice that there are little cameras, just like regular security cameras with the black glass over them, so you can't see where they're looking. But you can see. You've got a very keen eye, and with Alethos lighting them, you can see that one of them is active. As you move past, it sort of follows you.
There's an eye watching us. Act normal. Act. Do 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 do.
There's probably no one watching the eye, though.
But they got real quiet.
You guys come to a central chamber. There are several doorways leading off, two going northeast and northwest, one going east, one going west, and you are coming from the south. There are sheets of metal and hunks of machine just lying on the ground here as the roof is collapsed in. As whoever is leading the way sets foot first in this central chamber, the metal scraping begins again. The metal plates on the ground and the wires that sort of run along the ground begin to pull away from Gigi and recede very slowly and very noisily behind the console that centers this room. You see, as the metal plates begin to shift and rise and scrape together, intermixed in there are bones and some plant life, as a central computer core is lifted up, and wires and metal and limbs are pulled together around a central red eye. A beast of naught but whatever remains lumbers up above you. None of you have a word for what this is, because none of you have ever seen anything like this before. But you would hear over the intercom a raspy, tired, robotic voice speak. None shall disturb the remnants. And that is where we are going to end for the evening.
You're so messed up, JT.
Gee, I
Close
swear to God.
on episode 2, the melody of the reclaimed, as we leave on
No.
that very fun, goofy little note, a very lighthearted. I will not
Goofy,
keep us
goofy.
around for too horribly much longer. I will allow us all to go around here on our little stream order here to say who you are, where we can find you on the internet. If you would like to plug projects, I encourage you to do that. But we will go ahead and start on my right with Taylor.
Hello, Taylor, or at Potato. Sometimes there's underscores before and after that. Who knows? Yeah, you can find me here mostly doing this, obviously every other Wednesday, as well as running Wild Sea every other Friday. But this month you get 3 in a row, baby. We fight in Leviathan. Come hang out. As well as Die every other Saturday. You can also find me over on Lost Caravan playing some fun things like Fabula Ultima, like Orbital Blues, which we only have 2 episodes left, and I think we're doing those back to back in the next 2 weeks. So get ready for that. As well as Lancer, Duskgrave, which I think we only have a few left on that too, as shit is getting wild. And then, of course, everybody go listen to Bloom and Blight, which is just a beautiful, beautiful project. It is a Girl by Moonlight podcast that I am the GM for. Kit has been is directly under me in the overlay. This is easy. Has been doing amazing with the editing, Anna with the producing and helping with all of that and making it even happen. It's absolutely beautiful. That's where you listen to your podcast. And that releases every other Thursday, plus the Garden Club, which you should listen to that. It's a little talk back, get a little inside the players' heads. That's all I got going on currently.
How delightful. Thank you so much, Taylor. That's going to bring us over to Eve.
I'm Ethan. At EJ the Grey on social media, whichever one you like. I am here, and when I'm not here, I'm also on this channel, but on a different day on Thursdays. I am in the Marvel Multiverse game. I will be playing a very, very fun little Marvel hero that I don't want to spoil too much, but they identify as a problem for everyone around them, so that's going to be fun. Other than that, I think that's about all I got going on. You know what? I'm busy. All right, I got other stuff to do. So, but yeah, I'm here and I'm there tomorrow, and that's it.
Absolutely delightful. Thank you, Ethan. Let's bring it down and around to Harp.
Hi, I'm Harp. Yeah, you can catch me here every other Wednesday. That's about it. That's about it. Nothing to add. You can also follow me on other stuff like Twitter or YouTube. YouTube especially, that'd be cool. Harping Harp on YouTube. I make videos like twice a year, but I like them, so have fun with that.
I like them too, for the record.
Thank you. That's high praise. But yeah, tune into Beacons of Farlight next week, and I'll stop existing as a human until then. So You know, I just kind of dematerialize, and then whenever Wednesday nights come around, I exist again.
Absolutely.
That's
Thank
valid.
you so much, Harp. That's going to bring us over to Kit as we work our way back left.
That's me. Hi, I am Kit. You can find me most places on the internet at KitRoll or on Twitter while supplies last at KitRollCause. Every other Saturday, I will be over on Lost Caravan. I believe we're off this week, but typically every other Saturday for Fatal Ascension, our Fabula Ultima campaign, where I play everyone's favorite automaton on the run from multiple countries. For Regicide, we didn't do that. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And let's see, every Friday, I believe we're also on a bit of a break, but I believe we're coming back on the 20th. Every Friday over on the Live from the Apocalypse, Season of Secrets and Shadows is back for Season 2. 2 Secrets, 2 Shadows. There's 2 tables, 1 narrative, all Regency-flavored monster romance. I play a country girl turned vampire turned court goer. It's a mess. Everything's happening all at once. It's shenanigans. And we're vibing, and it's great, and it's awesome. So if you like Regency-flavored things, if you like monsters in love sometimes, causing problems all the time, over on the Life from the Apocalypse. If you're looking for new systems to hang out with, keep an eye out for Cottages in Cerberus, currently in Kickstarter. We are funded, but you can still come get some goodies and stuff. It's a cozy cottagecore meets Monster Hunter sort of situation. The character customization is absolutely bonkers. Spoon Theory inspired the mechanics. It's super chill, farming sim vibes, Monster Hunter. It's awesome. You can check out some of the actual plays over on Twitch at Chaotic Goat Productions, or you can get it for yourself on Kickstarter. And I have had the joy of editing a lot of it. So check it out. It's cool and fun and awesome. And then, of course, if you like magical girls, queer narratives, and stories of hope amongst defeat, catch Bloom and Blight, our aforementioned Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast, out wherever you get your podcasts. Episode announcements and clips and stuff like that are on basically all of the socials at Bloom and Blight. And if you want cast and character info and transcripts of all of our episodes, including those for the Garden Club, our little talkback situation, go to bloomandblight.com. And that is all I will be able to plug for now. And I will return to editing hell for the time being until it is time to play games again.
Absolutely delightful. That is going to bring us over to our final cast member who got to join us this week for the first time. We are also delighted. It's going to bring us to Kian.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. Sometimes that's a dash. Depends on where you are. I will be here regularly, which is really exciting. Super excited to be joining this campaign. I'm a recurring cast member over on Lost Caravan for our Nova campaign for Fabula Ultima. I'll be joining a Old Gods campaign series that I'm really excited about. It's going to be super rad. Once a month over on Singularity Roleplay, I play in our gay camp game. A bunch of queer kids. It's about to become a slasher, so we're going to see what happens. We're all panicking. We're all in love with each other. It's super rad. And yeah, I've got a couple other projects coming up that I can't talk about yet. Follow me on social media. That is where you will hear about it first. That's me.
And last but certainly not least, myself, which may be a little egotistical to say, but I am JT. I was your humble games master tonight, running this delightful little story for our wonderful little tome heads. You can find me on the internet at Weebjeet, on Blue Sky, Discord, Twitter, Itch, wherever you want to find me. I'm probably at Weebjeet there. You can find me tomorrow night on Guild Superior for our finale of Lord of the Rings, The Headless Cross, run by Bleak over there, where I'm playing a goofy little nerd. You can, as Kit mentioned, find me on Live from the Apocalypse, I think next Friday for me, with Table 1, playing Lady Octavia Frostpin, Scion of the Winter Court turned rebel princess, as we fight a war that she did not necessarily mean to start. And then you can find me on Nova as well in the Lost Caravan, as Caldwell, just a sad little guy. And then every Tuesday this month, you can find me on Neon Lights Roleplay, playing Lancer, as Orpheus, truly the littlest guy I have ever made. and I'm working on a very special project that I'm very excited about that I think we can announce soon, depending on how quickly we can get the details ironed out here. But until then, you can catch me here every other Wednesday running this game, which I am always so lucky to be running with an absolutely banner cast that I am so happy is finally complete. I love you all. Be good people. Have a good night. And I will see you all in 2 weeks.
All right, we're gonna raid over to GM Hina, so everybody go show them some love.
Yay!
Come back here tomorrow for the start of Marvel Multiverse, everybody. We got 3 seconds.
Wild.
It's gonna be wild, y'all. All right, have a good night. Goodbye.